Alright, it's been 5 months since the last tour of our Minecraft server. Last time I made a video like this, we were going over the 1.19 server. This time, we're going to go over the 1.20 server, or 1.20.1, sorry. So it's about that time of year that we go ahead and retire this server and get ready for the next one. Even though I'm making this video now, I don't think we're gonna have another server for maybe another month or two, and the next server will be a modded server. But that being said, a lot of people don't play on the server anymore, and so I figure it's time to go ahead and give it a rest. And once again, friends of mine will be getting the world download, and those of you who know that in the world download, things such as images on maps do not carry over to the single player world, such as like this map right here. And so I do a full world tour on the server itself so that we can actually see the different images and stuff. So now that we've got all that out of the way, I figure I should go ahead and just start showing off some of the different areas. Starting out here, we have spawn, and you can see Maxwell actually did an amazing job with spawn. It's not finished as well, as you can tell. There's some little bits here and there that we were still adding on to up until the very end. So starting out, we have this amazing greenhouse that Max did, and we have the one camel in the world. This is the only camel that was in the world border, which I could show later in single player. But this is, as we know, the only one that we could have gotten in this world. And he's here at spawn. Anyways, here is the greenhouse. Oh, also there's glass here, but my texture pack makes it look kind of invisible. And you can see this was a good way for us to get food early game, eating berries and things like that, berries and melons. You can also see this little farm right here with different stuff, even beets, which like no one used. Over on this wall, we actually have a lot to go through. These are where all of the accommodations are, I guess you could say. So over here we had the sort of chest room that Max would use to go ahead and build all of what you see here. We have the different furnaces and things like that. In here we have the enchanting room, which again, you can tell a lot of this isn't finished. We have the enchantment room. We have just hallways that don't really lead to much. We have this kind of failed project right here. This is meant to be a chicken farm for us to get chickens. I don't know if you can see how it works. Basically chickens spawn, or chickens lay eggs. The eggs go into the dispenser. The baby chickens go here. When they grow up, they fall into this lava pit, and then their remains go into this chest. It kind of works sometimes. As you can tell, a lot of the times the eggs get picked up by the hopper, and sometimes the chickens don't get cooked at all. I mean, it works for what it is, I guess. We have an unlimited lava source right here for fuel and things like that, and unlimited water for some reason, even though we have a lake like right there. You can see I made this sign at the beginning. These are things that we needed added to this wall, like an anvil area, an image area like we had in the last server, a brewing area, and a jukebox area. You can see some of the images right here. We basically just used this wall as an image area, or at least I did. At one point we had a wall over in this direction that had images on it, but we'll get into that later. We have a village house. I think Maxwell built this, but I'm also not too sure who built this. I don't remember if we found out who built it, but yeah, it's one of the old blacksmiths. This is a quick little smelter thing that we made to get things done with fast. I don't know why these furnaces are there. So we have this pathway that goes all the way down to the river, which doesn't really have much. I just thought I would show. Oh, the entire spawn island is lit up. I went through one day and lit up everything, so the entire spawn island is safe. It's like 99% lit up, maybe like a couple dark spots here and there. You can see there was going to be an above area as well with accommodations too, and I don't think Max has done anything with this. He was just kind of laying it out. We have this thing. I think this was meant to drop anvils automatically into this area or something, because there's an anvil in here, and this, I don't know what this is, honestly. uses target blocks, so I've got no clue. All right, over here we have this, I don't even know what to call it. It's basically a house with different floors and tiers. I'm gonna go around the outside first just to show how amazing it is. It's really tall, it's really cool. It's got a bunch of different blocks being used, and it kind of also looks like a bunch of different aesthetics. But anyways, we'll go inside in a second. You can see outside there's a little cafe type area where you can eat at. We have this custom tree that Max built and a chicken hanging on it that would always lay eggs here. All right, so when you first enter, you can see the different areas. The level 1 is bar, level 2 is seating, level 3 is art, and level 4 is banners. You can see there's a little area where a shopkeeper can be, and you can get things here. Going inside, you can see, because this is the bar level, there's a bar here. There's random holes in the floor there. What is this? Oh, this is the outside door. If we go up, you can see this is the seating area. This is where you can sit down and I guess have your drink. The next layer up is the art layer, and as you can see, there's art on the wall, and this is really cool. This little cherry wall, I guess is what I would call it. All right, going further up, we have the banner layer. This is where banners are made. You can see, I like the way it's lit by the candles and things like that. And as you can see on the other side, there's actually a balcony that you can go to, and you can look off into the distance. And then the next layer is I think this one said it was the elytra layer. So you can, if we ever got elytras, which we didn't, you could have jumped off of here and flown around. And then the final layer is, I think this was meant to be roof storage, but we don't really have anything to store up here. So, and you could also go on top of the castle bit up here by taking the ladder. So that's this little housey thing. I should say as well, all these cherry trees you see here are not originally from this place. At spawn, it was originally a forest biome, and I brought over cherry trees and just started planting them everywhere. You can see a lot of them were chopped down so that Max could start expanding and building in different places. It also makes for a very cool aesthetic, as you can see when going through these different trees. You see over here to the right, we have a cow farm, and this area is really nicely lit. You can see the pathway isn't finished yet, but there's cherry trees everywhere. It's lit by the lanterns. It looks really nice. You can see the reeds on all of the sides of the lake. Going across here, we have a bridge, a really nice looking bridge as well, I might add. And this bridge leads to an area over here where we'll get into what's over there in a second, but we have the nether portal here. You can see we have a custom plugin that lets us make different sized nether portals on the server. So going across this bridge wasn't finished either. We actually have this area, which is our cactus farm, skeleton farm, spider farm, basically most of our farm stuff. Over here you can see the skeletons. Over here you can see the cactus, and this thing goes up pretty high. It doesn't go to skybox, but all the cactus go down here into a little storage area. It's actually full, so. And you can see right here we have another data pack on the server that lets us have elevators. So if we go up and then, oh, this one's down. This is the maintenance for the server thing, or for the skeleton farm thing. If we need to get into there to fix something, you can see the signs I added so that people don't accidentally go in here. So if we go down once, you can see this is the cactus area. I made it very green, like extremely green. You can see this is for green dye. These are smelters for it. These are meant to be fuel chests. You can see here's where the cactus comes out. We had a rail duper in here for the rails you'll see later. We duped the rails just because they're really annoying to get. No one wants to go and farm the gold and the iron and the wood. Even though it's easy, it's just super time consuming. And I don't know, it's just easier to do it this way. You can see all the bones in here, all the bones and the arrows and stuff. If we go further down, this is what Riley made. Riley, I don't know why he made it this way, but basically you have a chance of getting poisoned if you go down here for some reason. So there's that, I guess. It's also very scuffed and not finished, as you can tell, but I guess it works. This is what we use for our wool. This is one of Riley's chests. You can tell because Riley doesn't sort his stuff. And that was everything in this little area thing. Like I said before, there used to be a giant blaze farm here, and I had to reconstruct the entire mountain. So a lot of this mountain that you see, oh shoot, a lot of this mountain that you see is actually reconstructed grass blocks because originally it was just cut into. All right, next up we have this pathway over here, or this bridge from over here that leads over to our iron farm. As you can see, we had a whole lot of iron in here that we would use to either build stuff out of iron or trade at the villagers to get emeralds and things like that. We truly did have a lot of iron. This thing produced a lot of iron, even though it was only one little sector. This thing is expandable. You can add one of these little things to each of the different quarters, so you could add one here, here, and here, but we didn't even need to. We made so much iron. You can see here's the villager breeder, and those go into here. Oh, under this carpet are bushes to keep the monsters out. You can see all the different villagers here. A lot of these guys are selling sticks for emeralds, which is really nice, and then these guys sell iron for emeralds, which is also really nice. Down below here, you can see all the different villagers and what books that they give. This was all Riley's doing, by the way. Oh yeah, you can see here, this is the pickaxe that we use to get different spawners, because we have another plugin that lets us silk touch spawners. You can see that's why I have 5 zombie and 6 spider spawners. Anyways, further down, we have this unfinished area. I think Riley was going to expand it a bit more with more villagers for like all the different books and stuff. Anyways, that's the villager area. I guess going back to this little hole thing, this is Max's mine. You can see if we go down here, you can see underwater, which is pretty cool. And then we have some different wood. And then yeah, basically down here we have a mine for different stones. This goes all the way down to deep slate, and you can see it goes into a mine shaft. So I think this is what Max used to get diamonds and things like that. You can see this is where he was strip mining. And I think that just about covers all of spawn. I know we've already spent like a mass amount of this video just talking about spawn, but there's so much here compared to last time. All right, next up, I guess we should go over some different farms that we have, and then we'll get into different player houses. So the first farm that you can probably see from spawn just by sitting here is the drown farm. And as you can expect, this entire thing is filled with water. The drown spawn, they go down here, they fall and die, and then we have a chance at getting a trident. Pretty self-explanatory farm. Next up, all the way over here, we have a creeper farm. We had one of these on the last server in the jungle area. This time, it's just randomly in the middle of nowhere. As you can imagine, this one gives us gunpowder for TNT and things like that. And in the future, it would have been for rockets, but again, we didn't go to the end. Branching off from the creeper farm, we have the main dye farm right over here. And this would basically give you almost every single color of dye that there was. There were a couple that you had to go to different farms for. For example, the green for the cactus farm, the squid farm, which I'll get into, the skeleton farm for white, and a couple others like that. But for the most part, this area right here offers every single dye. We had one of these on the last farm as well. And I think finally I can show the black dye farm. So this was an absolute pain to make, and it's really easy. All you need is this right here, and then the allay will collect the dye from the squids and put it into here. And then basically what you do is you AFK all the way up here. You can see our mini nether portal right here. So you AFK right here, the guardians kill all the squids, the allay take the black dye, and they put it into here, and then you're good to go. Again, this was a pain to make because of all the guardians that would spawn around here. And I think that just about covers all of the different farms and things. So I guess let's get into the different player houses. So first we should go over how you get to all the different player houses. So we actually had a metro station here. As you can see, Neko Girl's metro station. So you go down here, and I created this. This is where you get to all the different farms and all the different things. This is also unfinished. There were going to be different texts up here that show you which station you're at, which station you're going to. These signs we're going to have what code you need to put in to go to the different areas. You can see underneath here, there's a little bit of redstone that helps switch over the different railings to choose which of the 4 pathways you go to. So each one of these has 4 different areas, 4 different segments that you can go to. I think in the next server, if I do this, I'm going to create one segment that just branches off into a whole bunch of different areas. But anyways, I guess I should explain how this works. So each of these would give a code. For example, the code right now is 2 flour and A. So 2 flour and A would lead to my house over here. But if you wanted to go to a different house like Riley or something like that, I think Riley's house is 2 star A. I don't know if that makes sense. Basically, every time you flick a lever, it changes one of these, either this one or this one, to choose the different rails it needs to go to, and that is the same for each 4 of these different rails. We have a button right here that spawns the minecart, and then as you're coming back, the minecart gets broken by the cactus, and then when you're done, you can put the used minecarts in one of the 4 different areas. So I guess let me try this on, I think this is Riley's. We have a plugin on the server that lets the minecarts run at a lot faster speed than they do in normal Minecraft. As you can see, we are zooming through this. I think the minecarts are about as fast as Elytra are while using rockets. So it's a pretty nice trade-off. You know, minecarts, you can't really move them too much. Once you lay the rail down, they're down. But it's pretty cool that we're able to zip around with different minecarts and basically have a train system. So this is Riley's house. He didn't finish it. He was converting all the grass and dirt and things like that to the regular grass, because this is in the middle of a taiga biome where it had all the coarse dirt and all the podzol and things like that. And as you can see, he was in the process of converting that, and then I guess he was going to build a house here. Me and Riley lived at spawn for like the longest time, and then we only moved out like towards the end of the server. So, and then Riley just didn't finish his thing, I guess. Like I said, Max's tunnel is not done yet. It doesn't lead to anywhere. Kenny's tunnel, he stopped playing by the time I made this, so it hasn't even been mined out. This tunnel's my house. We'll get into that one last, like we did the last server tour. Over here in this quadrant, we had different farms and things. Oh yeah, so how I divided it is the top left and top right lead to player houses. The bottom left and bottom right lead to different farms and things. So this one, you can see this rail leads all the way over here. It goes underwater under spawn, which I thought was pretty cool. And it leads all the way down into the skeleton farm. You probably saw this earlier. The tunnel isn't finished, that's why it's all still andesite. This tunnel isn't done. I think it was going to lead to the black dye farm, but I just never finished it. You can see right here, here's a blank wall for whatever. And then this one leads to the drown farm. We go up, you can see the drown area down there. That teleports you up there with the elevators. So that's all of that. Over in this direction, we have 2 blank walls. And then we have this one, which leads to the creeper farm, as you can see here. And the other one leads to the dye farm. I can actually show the other side. So this one leads to the dye farm, goes all the way down. As you can see, as I'm flying through the underground area, you can see all the different rails that lead to different areas. One issue we had is the overlappingness. So for example, if this area, if I were making a rail and it needed to go left or right, it would either have to go up or down to go over the rails on each side, which was kind of annoying. There's not really too much we can do to fix that. Maybe I'll figure out something by the time the next server comes out. All right, now we can get into the player houses over here. You see this one leads to Hunter's Base. He wasn't on by the time I finished the railroad thing, so he never mined all the way to his thing. This one leads to Carson, which I'll get into in a second. You can see Ian again. He stopped playing by the time I finished the rail thing, so he didn't mine out. And then we have a blank area. This was probably going to be for Jacob, but I actually don't know where Jacob lives. Anyways, going through Carson's thing leads us all the way over in this area. So Carson had a little farm right here. You can actually see, so this is Spawn Island right here. And then Carson lived like right off of it in this little snow area, or wait, what's this biome called? Yellowstone. You can see he found one of the towers that randomly generate and made his house here. You can see Carson changed a lot of the blocks to the amethyst and the warped wood stuff. I think by default this is all like spruce and dark oak or something like that. And this leads up to this area with like a bed, the ender chest, normal chest, things like that. You can see right here he made a tank. There's also a ship that I'll show in a second that he was working on as well. Nether wart for, I guess, potions. Land character still here. What is this? Okay, I don't know what this is. There's something here. You can see Carson also moved some cherry trees over in this area. We have, this is his lava thing for fuel. And somewhere around here, where is it? Oh, you can see here's the nether portal. Somewhere is the railroad. Oh, here it is. It's behind the nether portal. This is the railroad that goes to the thingy that goes to spawn. This is the ship I was talking about. It's like half built. It's, I don't know enough about like ships and things like that, but it kind of looks like a submarine type thing. This is next to a village that was next to Carson's house. Up over here, we have Hunter's area. This area is like really weird to explain. You can see they have a little sign here, Smithton Meadows, and it's all of the same house connected by pathways over and over again a bunch of times. I don't know if this is finished because there's still a whole lot of empty space and things like that. But anyways, there's a little bridge over here that leads to a farm and to, I guess, Hunter's main base with like a TV, the dog, different storage areas and things like that. And then if you go across this bridge with the flowers and things and you go up into here, you have this like surveillance area type thing. Suburbia weather control room. You can see this is him controlling the weather. A random airplane. I'm not going to pretend like I know what this was because I think this is something Kenny, Jacob, and Hunter all did like 1 week or weekend type thing. And then they got off and didn't play again. So I don't know. This is like an inside joke type thing. I don't know. You can still tell that this took like a lot of effort to do though. Next up, we have, I guess, Ian's area. Ian stopped playing pretty early on. He basically went to a cherry biome, made this little house, and then, oh, okay, there's a spider and a creeper here. He made this little house and then got off and didn't play again, so there's not much here. Josh also got on like the first couple days. I think he died and then he didn't play again because he lost all of his stuff. So Josh, I don't think has a house, or if he does, I just don't know where it is on the map. And the same thing with Jacob. Jacob wanted to live in a desert area, but the only desert is up in the top left. You can see 3,000 blocks away. This is near the world border. So Jacob wanted to live in a desert, but the only one was super far away, and I don't know if he ever found it. I don't think Jacob has a home, or if he does, I just don't know where on the map it is. I guess next we have is Kenny's house. Oh, I should also say, I don't think Max has a home either. Let me actually show that before I go to Kenny's stuff. So Max spent a lot of his time at spawn, basically living at spawn, and he made an area in the nether that led to somewhere over here, I think. Yeah, so you can see another portal here and some torches that lead to, I think this tower right here is where Max was gonna live. I don't think Max had enough time to kind of finish his base and things like that. So that's where Max lives, I guess. Sort of ish, kind of. Oh, and I'll show the nether afterwards as well, because that's a pretty cool dimension. All right, now we get to go to Kenny's. Oh, I should mention, even though Kenny does not have a rail system in the overworld that leads to his house, he did have one in the nether that led over to his base. You can see Kenny found this. This is a randomly generating thing. We have a bunch of world generation stuff, as you can tell, and also a bunch of structure generation data packs. And this is one of the things it can spawn is a random sword nether portal thing. And so I guess Kenny found this, and he found this area which Let me just tell you, this area is super cool. As you can see, it has like super high up areas and things like that. So he found this area and he made his house here. You can see after you come out of the nether, you go up this stairway. You have his main house. You have this wall that he built over here. I'll get into his house in a second. You have this area he built going down, which he was gonna make something. I don't know what he was gonna make. He didn't finish it. You have the stairway going up over here. Again, I don't know what was gonna be over here. He didn't finish it, but it was probably gonna be something pretty cool. All right, and now we have Kenny's house that he made. If we go inside, you can see different barrels with different storage and things like that. We have even more storage with named chests and things like that. If we go up here, we have this super empty like attic upstairs area thing. I don't know what he was going to put up here, but there is a lonely table that looks off at the nether portal that he had. And as you can see up in here, there is the empty attic space. And that is, I believe, all there is for Kenny's area. I'm pretty sure Kenny had another sort of area that he lived at, because he spent a lot of time after he built this house on the server. I just don't know where it is. If he did have a secondary type of area, or maybe he spent all that time building the wall and this little thing and like getting items and things. And finally, before we get into the final bit, which is my house, I guess I should show the nether. Let me actually go to the spawn for that. So once you enter the spawn nether portal, you can see we actually spawned in a really treacherous type biome. Oh, once again, we have more custom biomes and custom structures. You can see this is a nuclear silo plant thing. This biome would spawn magma cubes and blazes and things like that. It was actually really annoying spawning here in the nether. So as you might be able to tell, everything is going to be cased in so that we don't actually die. You can see the rail system I was talking about. This one leads to Kenny's. Down over here leads to the black dye farm. I'm not going to go all the way down there because it's not worth it. If we go down here, you can see a little enchanting area and a blaze farm that we had. You can see we broke some of the blaze spawners and put them here. And if you take this rail all the way down, then you get to Kenny's portal up over here. And that leads to the little sword portal that he had. We didn't really do much in the nether because of the mentioned awfulness of it. You can see this is Carson's nether portal, yeah. And then Ian's nether portal as well, I guess. I didn't actually know I had this marked. Anyways, that's really all there is for the nether. We didn't really explore much or do much because of running out of time, and also the different mobs and stuff that would spawn and make it difficult to live there. And finally, we have my place where I built a house. My place is a little bit further away and there's not much there, but I did finish most of my thing. You can see I smoothed out all of the walls. Everything in here is gray. And originally, the biome that my house was set in was actually a birch, or you can see in the top left, a temperate highlands biome, which spawns like terracotta, clay, and things like that. But what I did is I chopped down every single tree on the island. You can see how big the island is. And then I replanted cherry trees all over. You can see some of the lava spots like here, and then over in this direction, you can see it burn down the cherry trees. I tried covering the lava, but I guess lava can go through glass. I should have known, because glass is one of those blocks that I feel like lava can totally go through, I guess. In Minecraft, that is. But yeah, as you can see, this area is absolutely covered in the cherry biome. Oh, also for reference, here's the drown farm, and then spawn is over here. You can see I was going to build a lot of different buildings and things here, but once again, it's just a matter of time. Ran out of time. Didn't really feel like building much when all the other people had stopped playing. But anyways, you can see my rail goes up here. Here's all my storage. These are all the wood blocks that I had, all the birch and things like that. And then these are all just random chests with like stones and things. I never really made a storage area, or at least a proper one besides this. If you go up here, you have my house. I did not build this. This is a schematic that I used. I don't remember the name of the schematic. But anyways, I'm not this good at building. The one in the last seed, I actually did build by hand, but this time I wanted to try using the schematic. And like I said, I was going to build more than just this, so it was originally going to be this thing and then a bunch of other stuff. So I figured, why not get used to building with schematics and build my main house out of a schematic. I'll go ahead and give an outside sort of wrap around. Oh, you can see the skeleton horses that I had here and the allay and things like that. I actually really like the way this house looks. Obviously, that's why I chose to build it. I should mention this house is technically not what it's meant to look like. All these stone bricks are meant to be clay, but we didn't have clay, at least that I can tell. I don't think I have a mangrove biome, so I don't have like a good way of getting clay, so I just replaced them with stone brick. Anyways, after you come in, you have the flower petals landing down on you. We have a little book area. We have the wizard tower enchantment area that goes all the way up here. This is the little tower you saw on the outside. We have a table, a little chest room. I was gonna have maybe some sort of secret entrance here that led down into a storage room, but again, I just didn't finish it. Then up here we have the bed. We have some different loft areas that I don't think you can get to normally, but they're still really cool to look at. This is sort of like a barn cottage core house thing. I don't know how to explain it. I should mention as well, there used to be a village right here. I tore the entire village down and replaced it. And originally, I wanted to live in this biome because I really like the way the trees look and things like that. But I chose to build here instead because I figured I was going to tear the trees down and make it a cherry biome anyways. So maybe in the next server, I will live in the forested highlands biome. I think that would be a pretty nice area to live in. You can see over here, here's one of the custom villages that we have with like a castle and things like that. There were a lot of different little areas and things spotted around the map that I just can't even mention right now. Also, I think there were a lot of missed opportunities of different biomes, like this one right here. This amethyst biome I think is really cool. It would have been nice if someone lived in one of these. Alright, I guess now let me show the single player world maps. I don't know how outdated this world is yet. I haven't fully downloaded the world as of today. Oh, you can see this is actually before I built my house over here. So as I'm loading the chunks for the world map, I guess I should explain this world had to have a world border because I pre-generated the entire map beforehand. And the reason I did this is because back when Josh used to do the servers, people used to lag a lot because of all the new chunk generation and things like that. Basically, Josh's server would lag because of everyone generating things, building things, having things like that. So I decided to pre-generate all the chunks just so that we don't have those stuttering issues. Surprisingly, pre-generating all these worlds, it took me like a week of searching around for different seeds, and then after I found the perfect spawn seed, because that's one thing, if you watched the last server tour video, you'd know that I explained that our spawn sucked, and so that's one thing I wanted to fix with this world, is I found a good spawn, I found a cherry biome near us, and then I had to pre-generate the world, and that took like a really long time. I had to pre-generate the nether and things like that. But anyways, this is the entire world map. As you can tell, here's my house, here's spawn, Carson's area. You can see Hunter's area right here. You can see Ian's area is, I think, over here. Finally, I guess I will show the nether map as well, even though that one isn't as impressive. All right, so as you can see, this is the nether map. You can actually see I expanded the world border at one point, and for some reason it really jacked up the nether. So you can see where the old world border was, and then where it immediately disrupts and becomes the new chunks. You see the size difference of how many chunks I added to the original world border as well. You can also see how treacherous it is, the amount of lava there was in the spawn biome. This green biome you see here is a poison biome. As you can see, there's poison and there's poison slimes and things like that. But again, I won't show too much of this. We just couldn't really explore too much because of the amount of stuff. But you see, there were some really cool different things here that you could find. But anyways, sorry for rambling on for a bit, but I thought I would show the different biomes and things. That's about it for this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, pretty soon we'll be doing the next server, and that should be fun. But anyways, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.